Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Hey, welcome back to the channel again. This is ForwardNBak, out and about on my electric unicycle. I've just got to head into the city. Luckily I've got a date, and that's exciting. I never get to go on dates. I think if anyone's got kids, they can relate to that. So now my wife knows she won't be there, but that's okay. You know, it's not often you meet something new and exciting to go and play with, and she's okay with that. She understands. So the guys from my local store where I've got a deposit down on the Kingsong have mentioned that they're going to bring that along, which is happening. So I wasn't too sure I'd be able to get along, but once they mentioned that, I sort of made plans. So I skipped going to the in-laws, and I'll have to make that up. And you know, I never get out to a group ride. I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm a really anxious person, so this gives me a chance to push myself out of my comfort zone and try to get along to meet some new people, some like-minded people. There's no one I know that gets around on one of these, so another beautiful day in Queensland, Australia. So there's so many people out and about. It's growing. This store and, you know, events like this group ride are perfect ways to build the community, build people's understanding of what these things can do, and bring people together that are all crazy enough to be out experimenting on these modes of transport. Yeah, so this was my first chance to step on any other wheel other than the V11, and it was different. You know, this felt actually quite similar in the suspension. It was really soft and floaty, a little, you know, really bouncy, similar to the V11 suspension. I really think it felt quite the same. It wasn't dialed in to my settings, but I've got my V11 feeling really nice. You know, this wasn't as wide, I guess a similar kind of profile as the V11, so I didn't find it very uncomfortable at all. This is just a really quick test. I didn't think I'd get a chance to even step on or see this wheel, so really stoked to get a chance to test these wheels. Thanks again to E-Riderz. Fantastic event. It was great to meet everybody, and I felt comfortable straight away. I think everybody was really just happy to see these new wheels and get a chance to play with them. Really generous of the guys at the store. I'll put a link in the description. And you know, if you're in Brisbane, please come along to the next event. They've got a Facebook group and they post about these events, which is how I found out. Yeah, this is a good wheel. Like, it felt nice. I'd need to spend more time with it, and I think I might try to get another chance to use it, and I'll do a video on that. And so here was my big chance, you know, first date, and I already got to ride it. I'm so happy. I didn't really expect to get a chance, and they were so generous, you know, bringing along both the wheels. And this was a different experience for me. I was so happy to see it in the flesh. Everybody stopped and turned around as soon as it started rolling in. Definitely the flagship wheel of the day. It's beautiful. It's my first impressions were so solid. You see everybody talk about how plastic and cheap the parts look. Well, I totally had a different impression. I can see what they're saying about the plastic, but for me, I don't think you're going to get carbon fibre at this price point, and I know that they've done all they could to design such a beautiful wheel. The engineering and design, as well as the 126 volt, all the changes that they're pushing, the suspension system, a few flaws like some cheap plastics which are only on the prototype model. Things are due to be upgraded, you know, the screws, the plastics, these are all things that are third-party options as well. This model still had the stand attached. It did have a cracked front bumper which they taped up beautifully, and you know, it looks fine for me. I think there'll be tape all over mine anyway. I don't plan on babying it, although I would like to. It does look beautiful. But my initial impressions are it is wide. It's a big monster feeling wheel. It's a bit of a truck. You know, four-wheel drive compared to the V11. It feels very solid. It's going to be great for what I want. I'm really ready for an upgrade on the V11. And this feels like I'm going to have to learn to work the wheel, and it's going to be a lot more work for me, which is what I'm after. I'm ready to step up to something that isn't as easy anymore. I want a challenge. I want to work my muscles and feel like I'm getting out and having a bit of exercise as well as fun. And this wheel is going to be perfect for me. The pads were in a horrible position. I couldn't really mount it straight away compared to the V11 and even the Hero. It's a huge profile of a wheel, like everybody says. I don't really feel it's too top heavy, but I just feel it's a heavy wheel, and I like that weight. It helps me feel that it's a solid machine and it's built to take a bit of a beating. It felt really good. I'm really happy and stoked to get a chance to test the wheel. Thanks again to E-Riderz. Well, this is ForwardNBak, just heading home from that was awesome. I'm still a little bit stoked, to be honest. It was really nice to meet everyone. You know, it's hard to meet people for the first time. It's hard to put yourself out there, and I think it's the same for everybody there. It's always hard to see some weird guy turn up. But at least in this situation, everyone had a unicycle, so we were all kind of weird. And that's a good thing, a good weird bunch of people just having fun, hanging out for no reason. Yeah, I feel really good about that. That was really cool. So, as I said, coming in, I didn't expect to be able to use the S20. I didn't expect to be able to have a ride on any other wheel, to be honest. But yeah, I had a couple of goes. I was pretty sketchy. I think you might see that at the start if I show that, if I'm game enough to show you. But yeah, coming from a V11 and stepping onto that big truck of a wheel, which is what I expected. I'm in no way let down. I really wanted that difference. I wanted something that was big and chunky and off-road feeling. And people saying it felt plastic and cheap. Felt pretty solid to me. I didn't spend long with it, and I know what they're saying about the plastic parts. It would be nice if everything was carbon fibre, but at that price point, and when you're considering all the other things that they've managed to engineer and develop to get into this wheel, at the price point that they have in the current environment around the world with shortages and restrictions on everything, well done, Kingsong, well done. You know, that's excellent. I think I saw quite a lot of interest from, I didn't think there would be anybody coming. I mean, I didn't really expect there to be that big a turnout, and you know, there was quite a few that I spoke to that have already got a deposit down, and I heard another one or two asking about the price. And so I'll just shout out again to E-Riderz. They're a distributor here in Brisbane, Australia, and they're definitely the premier distributor, premier store here in Australia. Hands down, best support I've got from not only anything electric, but any product for a long time. So yeah, I can only recommend them for all of your gear. I bought my TSG helmet there, and I've also got the deposit down on the Kingsong, and they're looking after me there as well. So I'm heading home with a buzz. I've already had a buzz about the Kingsong S20, and now it's just growing. And you know, not only a buzz from that, but a buzz from just the people, a buzz from the community in general. You know, how stoked was everybody, just rolling around having fun. It was a spectacle. Everybody was looking. All the way through the city I saw people stopping with their phones. I haven't seen anything like that. I know I would have stopped and taken a moment to check it out. So you never know, there might be a big rush of sales tomorrow. So yeah, nice to meet all of you at the event, and you know, I hope to get to know some of you, all of you, a lot more. I'll definitely try to get along to more of these events and be a part of the community, step out of my comfort zone and try to establish, you know, a new community to hang out. And yeah, cool. So this is ForwardNBak. Pretty stoked with tonight. It was an unexpected trip. Sometimes the best things are unexpected, and if you just put yourself out there, you know, things can change for the good. Sometimes they don't. That's okay. So if you don't have an electric unicycle, go and speak to the guys at E-Riderz. They know what to offer. I've got 15 kilometers to get back home. I've only lost a bar of battery again on the InMotion, so I'm not going to forget about this wheel at all. This is still my best friend, my first wheel. I actually love it, so it's going to have a part of my collection for a long time, I hope. Positive vibes, good times, happy thoughts, excited feelings, talking nonsense. Probably put about 100, at least 100 kilometers on this wheel in the last day. So my feet are feeling it. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.